Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Hello and welcome to another edition of On Deck, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am the host, Big B, and returning to the game, he's back in the starting lineup, the working man, Crispy Bacon. How you doing?
Doing good. I guess some people might say better than DeGrom, but doing good.
Yeah, better than the Grom. Grom's, if you guys have been watching or seeing ESPN, he's out 2 to 4 weeks, Chris.
Yeah.
And maybe, somebody came up with the idea that, maybe they need to put him in the bullpen for a little bit, let him get healthy, which I've said that for the last couple of years. So
he needs to.
Yeah, just to get back healthy. I mean, I know Texas paid a lot of money for him, but I think it's time to, say, hey, we need to get you healthy. So, before we get on the show, hopefully, Prime Moose Tim Hendricks will join us. Big Dog Greg said he has some family obligations today, so he won't be on. Who knows? Maybe somebody will jump on. But, anyways, Chris, first off, before we get into it, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, single fathers.
Yeah.
Everybody that plays that role. That's tomorrow. So, Chris,
yeah.
What about those Rangers?
I mean, we're still in first place in our division right now. We're the next 3 or 4 games are going to be against Oakland. I think we won the first game, lost yesterday, but it's a good matchup.
I see Dave Messaround's chiming in. What's up, Dave? His White Sox are 13-27, sitting fourth, which I think a lot of us kind of had them up there a little bit better. But, hey. Sorry. Those Rangers holding on to first place. 2.5 games up. You said they got Oakland, so that should be a few wins there.
You should win that series.
Is it a 4-gamer or is it a 3-gamer?
4-game.
Yeah, you should take at least 3 from them. Maybe give them a pity party and give them 1 game at least.
The last 3 series, I think, have been all divisional games, except for Houston.
Yeah. The Diamondbacks, and you played the Angels, you played the Mariners, now you play Oakland. Yeah. Oh, Oakland actually got the win last night.
Right, that's one. It was the second game. You won the first game.
Yeah, so you should be able to take it. And then you go on and you take on the mighty Braves.
Yeah.
The Pirates, who are hot, Orioles, who are decent. And then you finish out the month with Detroit. So you got a good tough string of games there. Tough battles coming up. So that should be good. See what your team's like. My Twins, they're hit or miss. I mean, they either get good pitching, no bats. They get bats, no pitching.
Something.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on. And granted, somebody will say, "Well, that's Minnesota baseball." Well, it is. I mean, you struggle against the teams you're supposed to beat. You beat the teams that you should struggle against somewhat. So, Yesterday they opened up a 3-game series with the Cubs. Cubs took it 6-2. They just finished the series against the Padres, which we took 2-3 for the Padres. I will actually be at the game tomorrow against the Cubs. Yes, I know it's Mother's Day. Yes, I'm not spending it with my wife or my mom. Did not know it was Mother's Day until I bought the tickets. I turned my time off request in at work, and that's when my boss is like, yeah, we can do that, but it's going to be Mother's Day. I'm just like, oh, but yeah, so me and my son and my mother-in-law's friend are going to the game because he's a Cubs fan. So we're going to go to enjoy some sun. Hopefully it's not raining too much, if anything. But after that, the Twins then go out to California. They'll play the Dodgers. They'll play the Anaheimers. And then they got the Giants. And then they can bring the Giants back home with them. So they might be on the same plane flight. And then they got the Blue Jays. And then they end up with Houston at the end of the month. So, again, another string of games where it'll test them, see how they're doing. But, that's the way baseball goes. You're going to play a string of games. Did you see the post somebody posted a few days ago about how the AL East and the AL Central are all numerically in order?
And it's like the first time or
yeah.
And
it's still happening. I'm looking at the stats now. You got Tampa Bay at 30 wins. You got Baltimore at 25. Toronto, Boston, and the Yankees at 22. And then the Twins at 21. Detroit, Cleveland at 17. White Sox at 13. And then Kansas City at 12. So, and a lot of people are saying they need to get rid of the divisions because it's sad that New York's has a winning record and they're in last.
Yeah.
Chris, I don't know what you think about that, but I think that's just a stupid take. It happens. It's baseball.
I mean, it happens.
162 games. It's going to change up.
Yeah, and every sport, or most sports, I should say, either has the conferences, the divisions.
Yep.
Whatever their system is, it's just pretty much the same thing. You have those natural rivalries there,
Yep.
and then you have rivalries outside of it. That you grow throughout. The times the teams are around, whatever the case may be.
Well, and that's the whole thing is, sports have always been divisions. You get division champions, you get the playoffs. I mean, yes, is it weird to see the Yankees in last place with a winning record? Yes, it is. As much as I hate the Yankees, baseball is a better sport when the Yankees, Dodgers are up there, but times change. I mean, you got the Rays that are playing out of their mind right now. You got Baltimore coming around. Mm-hmm. You got Toronto finally swinging things. I mean, even Boston. I mean, Boston's fourth. I mean,
but then also,
yeah, go ahead. Chris.
I was going to say that some of the teams aren't like geographical, whatever. They're not in the right spots. You got.
Well, yeah. I mean, if anything, you realign them. Make them more geological friendly, travel friendly. And that's something I know baseball's talked about, especially if they want to bring in 2 more teams. They've talked about realigning them again.
Right.
But
then you're gonna have those traditionalists that are like, no, we don't need to realign them. We just,
I mean, there's always going to be those old school traditionalists that don't like the pitch clock, don't like the runner on second, don't like the bigger bases. For me, the runner on second, I'm kind of getting used to, but I still say that they need to bring it out later in the game. 12th, 13th inning, let them play the 10th, 11th inning, 12th inning. Without the runner, maybe 13th, you go into it. The pitch clock, the games I've been to, I haven't seen a major difference. I think the teams that are batting are taking more advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Get that stolen bases up there. The bigger bases, safety reasons, I get it. You know, the foul ball netting on all that one could go. I
Yeah.
get the safety of the fans. Don't get me wrong. I want the fans to be safe, but one, if everybody's not on their cell phones watching the game or texting people, you're paying
Yeah,
attention to the field. I mean, it says on the ticket itself, you know,
you're not
objects may
liable.
come into
You
the
are.
crowd. Yeah, you're reliable. So, not that I want to see anybody get hurt, but I think the netting needs to come down. That's just
Keep your head on a swivel.
yeah,
pretty much.
exactly. I mean, heck, I'll be sitting section 125 down the right field line, 2 rows in. My head's gonna
Yeah.
be on a swivel, and you know, but so Chris, I know you're younger than myself, and you know,
Right.
Tim Hendricks and Dave, or Greg, Big Dog, Greg, even Dave.
Right.
We talked about this a little bit on the Four Bros last night.
Yep.
That Verlander becomes the 21st pitcher to beat every major league team. To me, I was shocked that it was 21 because interleague play's only been around since 2000. If J-Mac's on, maybe he can.
Yeah.
You know, typically American League just plays American League teams until the World Series. So when I saw that, I was just like, okay, kind of shocked that 21 pitchers have done it. I mean, props to them. I mean, don't
Right.
get me wrong, but I thought that number would be a lot less. And I know I'm going to probably say some names, and you're going to be like, I don't even know who the heck this pitcher is. So I was going to play a little game with everybody to see how many pitchers they knew.
Okay.
So the first pitcher that did it was back in 2002. Al Leiter for the Mets. He ended up being the Diamondbacks, and that was the first guy, though.
Isn't he related to Jack? Jack Leiter. I think he's an up and coming pitcher for the Rangers.
Yeah, it could be his son. It could be. Kevin Brown for the New York Yankees beat the Devil Rays. So those guys used to pitch in the National League a lot, and then they came over to the American League. Terry Mulholland, another guy, pitched for the Twins. It beat the Tigers in 2004. Kurt Schilling. I mean, we all know Kurt Schilling.
Yeah, heard that.
Boston guy, finally went to the National League, beat every team. But he did it with Boston, actually. So he came from Philly to Boston. That's what it was. Woody Williams. I don't know who this guy is. San Diego Padre. He ended up beating the Cardinals to be the 5th pitcher. Jamie Meyer, who's been around forever, seems like he's probably still pitching. The guy's got to be like 60 years old. I don't know. But he was
just doing it for fun now.
What's that?
He's just doing it for fun now.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's pitching, but he seems like he's been around forever. Randy Johnson, the big unit, he did it while he was playing with San Francisco, beat the Diamondbacks, who he used to play for. Barry Zito was with the Giants, and he beat the Oakland Athletics, who he used to pitch for. Javier Vasquez was with the Yankees, beat the Angels.
Heard that name, yeah.
Yep. Vincent Padalon, again, another pitcher I don't know. Dodgers or Giants, he beat the Phillies. Derek Lowell with the Indians. He beat Boston. AJ Burnett. I mean, some of these guys I've heard of. Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
I beat the Marlins. Dan Herring. He was with the Nationals. Kyle Loesch is a guy who used to pitch for the Twins. Did it with Brewers, and he beat the Twins to be. He's a guy I didn't think had that many wins. I mean, he kind of shocked me. Tim Hudson, John Lackey, Matt Scherzer, Bartolo Colon is another guy I know that's bounced around a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't think he did it. And then Zach Greinke did it a couple years ago. Garrett Cole did it 2021, and then of course Verlander. So to me, it's kind of shocking to see some of those lists. I mean, some of them are obvious: Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling, Myers, Barry Zito. I mean, those guys have been around forever.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see how many of those guys, because I have to look at. As I looked at the list, I had 3 off the top of my head that I figured would have been on there. I mean, even Clemens ain't even on there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but so some of the action we're going to get today. Let's see here. Oh, let me go back to the schedule. Oh, there it is. So we got the Cubs and Twins first pitch at the top of the hour. Right now we have the Rays and the Yankees battling bottom of the first. Marlins and Reds just getting started, and Mariners and Tigers getting started. At 2:00 our time, we're going to get the Braves versus the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 3:00, we got a triple header there. We got the Mets and the Nationals, Rangers, Athletics, and Cardinals and the Red Sox. And then everybody else is going to be kicking off later. So, Chris, last week us guys broke down the American League, gave them a little grade. This is you. I won't do the National League now, but we'll go back to the American League and see what kind of grades you give these guys. Oh, Tampa Bay. I mean, us three guys agreed that they're A+. I mean, they're just playing out of their mind right now. What kind of grade do you give them the first month or so in the season?
I'll give them an A+. I mean, who would have thought that a team like Tampa Bay, or any team really, could go out and win 13, 14 games in a row?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're not going to win every game, but that's close enough to winning every game. It kind of gives you a head start in the push to making the playoffs early.
Yep. And giving head starts. I mean, they ain't giving too many people a head start, but their run differentials plus 120. Plus 120. They're just nobody's even close to them right now in the run differential. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Baltimore sitting second. I think we give them like a B grade, A- grade. I mean, they're second. What do you think?
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I mean, they're coming up on their own, but I think there's maybe a little you need a little help.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is I know last year a lot of us were pulling for them to make that final playoffs. I think if they had another week, I think they would have made the playoffs. I think so.
Yeah.
Boston Red Sox. I think we might have to go back, but I think we're kind of giving them a C grade for the rebuild. What do you think?
Boston?
Yeah, Boston.
B- C, somewhere in there. I think Boston's still a contender.
Yeah.
It's still early too.
Well, exactly. Everything's still early. This is just based on the first month.
I mean, they're still a contender. So.
Like you kind of alluded with Boston or Baltimore, they make a couple moves here. I mean, it might help them.
Yeah.
Toronto. I know us guys. I think kind of gave them a lower grade. I think a C- D because we thought they'd be battling. Granted, still first month of the season, but we thought it'd be a little bit closer. They're 7 out. What do you think on the Toronto Blue Jays?
I'll go with the same grade. I mean, Toronto, they've been good off and on throughout the years, and maybe not that playoff team, but they've been close behind, and I think a lot of people believe that they could have went farther. Maybe they still can. It's early, but maybe.
Yeah. Yankees, I believe, if I remember right, I think one of us gave them an incomplete, kind of don't know what's going on, a lot of injuries. Outside of that, I think myself and Tim, I think gave them, like a D, C grade. What do you think on the Yankees?
I mean, you could put incomplete, but, maybe a C. The only person you really have to really rely on is Judge.
Yep, he's hurt right now. Yeah. Well, their lineup's still stacked. I mean, there's still a lot of. If I'm a pitcher, I still don't want to face the Yankees. They got some pretty good bats there.
Yeah.
So then we got the Twins, who are leading the Central. My team, I gave them a CB grade because just they're playing Twins baseball. You get good pitching, you don't get the bats. You get some bats, you don't get pitching. If they put it together, they're going to be a decent team. I mean, right now they're three ahead of the Guardians. So what do you give the Twins?
What everybody else gonna give them?
We kind of all were in the middle, B's and C's. I mean, nobody gave them a low grade, nobody gave them a high grade.
I'll go with B. I mean, they
Yeah.
haven't been too bad. I've watched a few games, and I mean, they're not too bad.
Yeah. The Guardians. This is another team that was supposed to kind of battle a little bit. I mean, they're it's still first month. I think again we gave them around the C grade.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Now, I think Detroit, if I recall, I think this is where I think we gave them a D grade. They're in the middle of the pack, so they're not out of it, but
Mhm.
what do you think for Detroit?
Maybe a C. I don't.
Okay. Kansas City was a team that I think this time last week they were in last place. Another team I think we gave an incomplete to just because they're young, they're fiery, they're still hanging around. Maybe a couple moves here and there could get them in there. So what do you give the Royals?
B.
Okay. White Sox. I think this was one of our first Fs we gave them because they were supposed to be up at the top of the leaderboard, and they
Yeah.
kind of fallen back. So
I'll probably give them the same grade. I
Yeah.
think they could have been contenders.
yeah, they could have been contenders. I mean, it's still early, so don't get us wrong. It's still early. So
Yeah.
Your Rangers. So
I would
Um,
say B.
okay, yeah, we gave them a B. I think one of them gave them an A because they spent the money. They're finally coming around. Anaheimers, we counted them out, so we're giving them a B grade. I mean, hopefully they can keep it going. What do you
Yeah.
think for the Angels?
I would say B.
Houston, we gave them a C, I believe, just because it's early. They're in the middle of the pack. We thought they'd be at the top. I mean, they're only 3 games out. Yeah, so so what do you think for the Houston Astros?
What was the consensus kind of?
What's that?
What was the consensus?
CB. I mean, they can't be at the top all the time.
I go B. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then you got the Mariners at 500. Again, another team that I think we're around the B grade. So what's your thoughts there for Seattle?
B.
All right. And then all 3 of us gave this team F, F minus, F double plus. I mean,
Mhm.
Oakland A's. I mean,
F.
yeah. I mean, granted, again, I admit that I thought maybe they would play some ball, be competitive, not win games, but just be
like
and
a
be
close game,
because
3-2, something. Like a 1
well,
or
yeah,
2.
I figured they would play with the chip on their shoulder. That everybody's calling them out. We're going to go out and play ball. We're going to play our game. We're going to upset some teams.
Yeah.
Right now, they are looking as bad as somebody's World Series picks that we won't talk about. I mean, the run differential is 144. I mean, they're not coming back. I mean, they only got 9 wins. They haven't even hit double digits yet.
No.
With the move to Oakland, the fans aren't supporting them. I mean, they're only bringing in what 2,500 fans in a game, unless there's a big name coming. But
fans are trying, and I for the ones that are sticking it out, I give them credit. They're trying, and
well, the ones that are sticking it out are. I'd like to know how much they're paying, if they're paid. I mean, are they getting free tickets? Are they sponsors? Are they because our job where I work at, we sponsor we got a contract with the Twins, so we get some tickets from them. So is it that?
Or is it like people from Vegas coming out watching the team and?
Well, who knows? I mean,
cover kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're on their way to Vegas. I think J Mac broke it last night that they've already are in the
Oh,
talks
yeah.
to purchase some land from
The
the
Strip.
Mirage. I think it was he was talking about. I could be wrong, but right on the Strip there. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, they. I mean, right now, 40 games in, they got 9 wins. What are you looking at? Like 30 wins at tops? 20,
I'll go,
25 wins? I mean,
I'll go 15 first before we go that.
I really hope they have more than 15 wins. I think low ball is going to be 30. I think that's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, it will be.
And the thing is they don't have nobody on the roster anybody wants, and they got nobody in the minors that anybody wants, from what I know. So,
well, I think there's players that teams do want, but the only problem is that the team isn't that good, and maybe if the team was better, maybe they want the players.
well, that's the whole thing is if they're. I mean,
because if your team is good, then the players will come along with it.
So I'm just going to take a quick stab at the stats here. So, Rooker is batting .319, so he could be somebody that oh wait, we might want to bring him in. Brett Rooker, I think he's a former Twin too, if I remember right. I thought might have been. Yeah, he was a Twin. Yeah, so he's finally coming around. He's got 11 home runs. Who leads the team in home runs? So that might be a trading piece. Yeah, Rooker is like leading the whole team and everything. I mean,
see, that's the thing too. It's like
he's
the team's not that good, but you have one player who leads in everything.
Yeah, and the thing is that could be a decent bet, late in the season, coming off the bench, especially if you get them right. Pitching wise, I mean, Jackson has 2 victories. Their lowest ERA that's recorded. Well, there's a couple guys that have a low ERA, but to qualify, you have to have somebody in his pitch.
I think it's like 6.
The guy that qualifies is at 7.02 ERA. So I mean that's the only guy that qualifies, and that's ridiculous, and that's a steady pitcher. I just wow. That is something. I did not know that. 38 strikeouts. I mean, that's pretty decent. They only got 2 saves. So yeah. So and then there was a stat last week, I think it was, that I posted that it might have been Jackson was the first pitcher in 14 plus starts to get a win for his team, or
I think so.
Yeah, it was ridiculous that the starters are not. I mean, granted, it's that way because Jackson only has 2 victories, and but man, Oakland's got to do something. I mean, yeah, just looking at these stats, it's just unbelievable. And when you're qualifying ERA guys at 7, that's not good.
No. Pretty bad, I think.
Yeah. So looking at some of the injuries here, Rasmussen for the Rays is put on the 60-day DL. Scherzer's targeting early next week to return. Altuve begins rehab assignment today. Looks like Perez was a late scratch for the Royals due to blur vision. Oh, hopefully that's good, or it turns out to be good.
Yeah.
So that's some of the latest injuries. Yeah, waking up and having blur vision, that's not a good thing. So Chris, you're I'm surprised J-Mac's not on because he would give you crap about this. Kansas City's 12-28, and the Nationals are 16-22. That was your World Series pick. So I know it's the first month, but maybe at the end of the year you'll be laughing at us.
I don't know.
But
it's fun to make kind of bold picks.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's 162 games right now. Yeah, we're laughing at you. next month you might be seeing him climbing up the ladder. At least he didn't take Oakland. I mean, that's the whole thing. And not
Yeah,
saying
no,
I took Oakland, but again, I eat my words because I thought they'd be better, and they're not.
I mean, we thought Rangers, and they kind of were, but Rangers would have been better last year. We all thought
yeah,
that.
I had the Rangers win that division last year. The money they spent. I mean,
But
maybe
they
it
had
takes time.
injuries. They had a bunch of injuries, and
Yep. But now they signed DeGrom, and everybody was like, "Oh, they're going to do it, and they're better without DeGrom." So
that's weird.
yeah. Well, again, you got to stay healthy to pull it out there. So
yeah.
Outside of that, Chris, I mean, we were talking about it backstage a little bit. I was watching the video.
Mhm.
Mullins from the Orioles hit for the cycle. That was the 7th guy to do that. And they do a little kind of cool thing. They do a bird bath. They spray water all over the fans in certain areas. So
That's
cool.
gonna be handy for a summer day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, spray me with that water. So, and
Yeah.
I think they only do it on extra base hits. It looked like I could be wrong. So
that's not fair.
that's not fair. Yeah. So, Chris, outside of that, you got anything you want to bring up? I mean, you missed last week.
Yeah. Don't really have anything
Okay.
unless you do. I mean,
No, I don't, but we like to talk a little bit about other sports. Go out, catch the College World Series. That's starting up. I know the girls softball is starting up their playoff run here, so make sure you check out that. My and J Mac's favorite time of the year, Little League World Series, is going to be probably starting up here shortly within the next month. Can't wait for that.
those are always fun. Little League World Series.
Yeah, man, those kids could smash the ball though nowadays. I mean,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to start making those parks bigger.
Start making it like a major league. Like
Well,
baseball.
I guarantee some of those kids could probably hit it out of a major league ballpark. I mean,
They should do that one year. Like I know Omaha is a tradition and all that, but
Oh yeah, they won't take the Little League World Series from Omaha. I'm sorry.
but
I
you
know
can
where
have,
you're going with it.
you can have like a little league showcase kind of thing, not
Yeah,
necessarily
maybe.
a game, but a showcase.
Yeah, Little League Showcase. That's good. Chris, we want to give props to the Oregon Cougars football team.
Yep.
They got their first big W last week. Good game, good, well played game. 12-6.
I believe so. Yeah, and now they get
That's Chanel. Chanel, how's it going, bud? Casey Schmidt from the Giants. Our thoughts. That was Chanel. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was the kid that came up a couple days ago, hit his first home run on his first big league at bat.
Oh, I think I heard something about that.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, he's going to have a good rookie campaign because the book's not out on him. So he'll probably have a good few weeks until the book's out on him. They can finally see what he likes, don't like, see how to pitch around him. Typically, that's what happens with rookies. In a baseball sense, I don't want to judge him until I see more of him. I was just going to pull up the stats here because let me get to the Giants page here. Yeah, it was nice. His family was in attendance. I think it was his dad had a little baby in his arms, and the announcer showed him when he hit the home run. They're like, "Oh, don't drop the baby! Don't drop the baby!" So
don't hold a beer and or whatever you got, and drop the kid.
All right, so Schmidt, third baseman. Yeah, he's got 2 home runs. He's batting .563 right now. He was just called up 4 games ago. So, good for him. Get that major league debut. 4 games, 16 at bats, 9 hits, 2 home runs, 1 which was his first major league at bat. Now I'm going to look. I'm not going to say they're related, but I wonder if This is Mike Schmidt's boy from the old Padres, or grandson maybe. But Chris, what do you think on the young kid?
I mean, I know he just started up, but maybe he's going to be helpful. It's going to take some time.
And no, they are not related. Mike Schmidt, former Phillies third baseman, is not related to Casey.
Yeah, it's fine though. I mean,
oh yeah, you get the name, you see the name before, so
yeah.
But yeah, your thoughts on the young kid?
No, I mean it's going to take time for him to get used to everything, but hey, an extra person in the lineup's not bad either.
Yeah, and just read look at some of the stories. He comes from San Diego State, so maybe we'll have to get our guy Callan on one of these days to talk about him, since he's out there in San Diego. It looks like he could pitch a little bit in college, so two-way player. He was drafted 49th overall by the Giants in 2020, so 3 years in the minor leagues, finally gets his call up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the sky's the limit. We'll see. Top prospect in the last year, according to MLB.com. So, Bright Eyes, gets the show. So gets to the show. Congrats to him. So,
Yeah.
All right, Chris. I got nothing else. Sorry for the short show, but when it's only us two, our opinions matter. But it'd be nice to have some other people in there. So, thoughts on Oakland Vegas? Well, if you've been watching the show, as a longtime baseball fan, it's going to be hard to look at the standings, look at baseball, and not see Oakland Athletics as the team. It's going to be Las Vegas Athletics, I'm assuming. I kind of hope they change the name to Vegas High Rollers, Vegas Aces, Vegas something to do with Vegas, and not take the Oakland name with them or the Athletic name.
Well, I think Aces are taken though.
Well, that's in the WNBA.
Yeah.
So there could be, but Blackjacks, Vegas. I don't know. I really hope they don't take the Athletic name, but they probably will. They'll probably be the Vegas Aces. My thoughts is it has to happen. I mean, it sucks for Oakland because like I said, Oakland has such a rich tradition, a lot of good teams, a lot of good players. It's going to be hard for me to not see them. Vegas High Rollers. I think that would be a good name for them. But we'll see. Or the Vegas Kings, Vegas Jacks, Vegas Blackjacks. I don't know. Somewhere to do with gambling, I guess. Vegas style, I think, would be a good name for them. So, but Chris, with that being said, let's get the final thoughts. Yeah, pre-up the show, a little short show. So,
thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. No Oregon Cougars tonight; they are on their bye week.
Get healthy,
rest.
Where do they play next week then?
I think Stone. I know they're playing Capital City, and I want to say that's Stone.
Is that Salem?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they got road games. So check those guys out next Saturday. Check out the Cougars Den on Wednesday. We'll preview that show with the voice of the Oregon Cougars football, J-Mac, who got recognized this past week as he was out doing some family things. Somebody stopped up and asked him told him he had a good game. So
yeah.
With that being said, Monday we're gonna have C2C Rankin with myself and Tim Hendricks. I got a work obligation banquet to go to, so that's happening Tuesday, along with my son having his school track and field day. So we're gonna take that on in the morning and then go to my work function. Tuesday night, Between the Ropes. Talk about the upcoming pay-per-view, talk about what's going on in wrestling, talk about the big tag team match that happened that was made this past Friday between the Sports Minute on Wednesday, along with Cougars Den, Creeping It Real on Thursday, and Chris and Mess Around and the guys did a heck of a job breaking down the schedule for the NFL release. If you didn't have it, check that out. If not, check out May 21st. Morning Tailgate will return that day. We'll break down our schedule, talk about some moves, and I will call out a certain Viking fan who thinks the Vikings are going to be better this year. So that might be an annual tradition now that call out to a certain guy till he has the grapefruits to come on and debate me. And again, guys, I just want to point it out. I am a Minnesota fan, but when the team comes out, so yeah. And people call me a bandwagon jumper, so whatever. I don't care. So with that being said, thank you, Chris, for making your triumphant return to the starting lineup. I'm Big B. We'll see you next week on Deck. Have a good night.